First thing first, let me say this. I am not a Nepo kid. Okay, guys, jokes aside. I think a lot of times many people confuse being raised in comfort with being spoiled. I have no idea what the latter is about. But today, I will be debunking the Nepo tag given to me, and I'll also be demystifying wealth. Now, wealth is a verb. It's an action word. It's a process. It's not a noun. So neither is it a name or a tag. For example, I can say I am wealthy in knowledge, but I can be lacking in funding. So you see, wealth is dynamic, it's not static. A whole lot of times, people confuse wealth to be their bank balance, the amount of stamps they have on a passport, or a luxury car. Once they see riches, they term it as wealth. But I was raised to know the difference. So wealth isn't what you have, it is what you do with what you have. It's the knowledge you instill and the opportunities you create for other people to become their own person. Now back to me trying to debunk the whole Nepo tag thing. So honestly, growing up, I wished I was spoiled. I wish my parent gave me access to luxurious items. And to make it worse, I grew up around kids who had access to this. I went to schools where kids were literally spoiled. So it was hard navigating the realities of having to manage but being raised in comfort. But my dad basically had a different blueprint, and he was more interested in making a legacy for himself and for us rather than just giving us access to things. And so while every other kid had the opportunity to travel around the world and enjoy luxurious items, I had to witness him training almost 60 kids through school. I'm talking about orphans and persons who were educationally sound but just didn't have the resources to further their education. And I remember him, feeding over 300 widows. And he would always say that most rich kids eventually go haywire. And so he did not give me a cushion effect, but he gave me a conscience. And I know one thing for sure. Wealth is the ability to make impact. So if you're wealthy and that wealth only serves you, in the real sense, you're not wealthy, you just have funds, you're just well funded. So as a kid who had to, at some point in university days, had to sell sachet water and some snacks to get by. Right after that, started my service year. I was hawking perfumes and perfume oils at different offices. And right after that, I started job hunting. And in the process, I didn't find a job. And someone told me about boats, and I did boat with a manual car for almost 2.5 years. Job hunting again, I got the opportunity to do my master's fully sponsored by an NGO like that. And to finally owning my own small practice, one thing is for sure. One of the things that the trainings I got did for me is that being raised in comfort made me realize what I would want to have. I understood the path I had to take to becoming who I needed to be. So my experience formed who I want to be. I grew up in comfort. I knew that when I start making money, I'll take care of myself. I'll look the part. So I knew that that was what would be. And another thing he taught me is that when it comes to comfort, I can do pretty well in that area. I can live anywhere. I am that soft girl. But when it comes to complete lack, I can manage, because I've had the taste of both worlds. So this is me saying that please do not judge anybody and call them wealthy because they suddenly are wearing the finest of clothes, they have the greatest hair on their heads. Wealth would only make sense if these persons are investing in the lives of others and people are impacted as a result of their existence. So today, I might be that legal practitioner with over 10 years experience, actually 10 years post-school, but I am actually my father's daughter, the one who raised me believing that wealth was all about impact. And that's the only way I know that I'll be able to build wealth.